Arrow-riddled giant was blackmailed by a vicious queen who used his daughter, forcing him to become a brutal war machine to help the queen plunder other nations. In the invasion of ancient Babylon, the ancient evil succeeded in defeating ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon's castle was silent and littered with corpses. Jack and Tyrannosaurus Rex, who fought in the battle, were also badly wounded. The giant was covered with arrows. Then the evil queen appeared. The giant stood up immediately. From a distance, he saw the little girl in the queen's car, and this little girl was her daughter. Even though they were very close, father and daughter could not embrace each other. It was then that Jack realized what the giant was going through. The soldiers had plundered a cart full of treasures, but the queen seemed uninterested. Instead, she smiled at the ancient Babylonian king, who was on his knees begging for mercy. As the wicked woman slowly approached him, the defeated king was in a cold sweat, but all the queen did was take her lovely pet. And just when the king thought he had his life in his hands, the queen turned around and gave the soldier a look. The king was executed on the spot by the soldiers. This woman is so cold-blooded and heartless. Then the queen gave a little wave of her hand. The little girl came running down the stairs. She was finally back in her father's arms, and the two of them embraced each other, enjoying their hard-earned happiness. But the wicked queen only gave them a moment. She sent her soldiers to take the little girl away. The giant wept tears of sadness, and the next time father and daughter embraced was when the giant helped win the next battle. And then the evil queen used the dragon knights and the giants to plunder the war. She plundered the mysterious Eastern powers, Byzantine and Roman empires. At the end of each battle, their bodies were bruised and battered. That day they met an enemy who also plundered for a living, and their forces were evenly matched. But when the dragon knights and the mighty giants entered the fray, the battle was tilted in their favor. These two terrifying war machines, the enemy leader was in deep shock. In the end, the enemy was defeated and their ships sank to the bottom of the sea. But the evil queen's plundering didn't stop there. They traveled to another continent. Once again, they sent giants and dragon riders to the front, but this time, they were stunned. It turned out to be a group of simple villagers who were very backward. The villagers knew they couldn't resist, so they offered up all the food they had. For the arrival of the evil queen, the villagers showed full respect, and offered to give up all the food they had. But the queen's expression was one of contempt. She took one look at these worthless things. She turned and left with a haughty smile. The queen was not satisfied with this visit, so she went to the giant and ordered the villagers to be wiped out. But the giant misunderstood her. He took the food from the villagers and turned around and brought it to the queen. But this behavior angered the queen. She didn't hesitate to grab the little girl by her hair and lifted her up. Hearing his daughter's cries, the giant could only turn to the villagers with a dark face and a lowered head. On the one hand, there were innocent and unarmed villagers. On the other hand, his daughter's life. The giant was forced to raise both fists. He carried out the queen's order. At this moment, the giant was like a demon being manipulated. The villagers were slaughtered. There were screams of terror, but the evil queen is enjoying herself. In the end, the giant had no choice but to do as he was told. The villagers were slaughtered. When he returned to his cell, he remembered the scene. He couldn't help but shed tears of sadness. Jack, on the other side, sympathized with him. Then a soldier came to feed them, but due to fear of the T-Rex, he accidentally dropped a steak on the floor. This mistake will be Jack's chance to escape from prison.